welcome back to my channel. I am CinemaSister, formerly Cinema Siblings, and if you haven't seen my last video, I have changed my name. I am CinemaSister now, so welcome. And I'm going to be answering some of your questions. I'm very excited. Some of these I haven't actually read what the questions are. I just have them all compiled here. So these are my real reactions and answers to your questions. Not like they wouldn't be real before, but I'm just going to be reacting to them as I see them. So my first question is from Nightmare Crypt. Hi, Nightmare Crypt. Thank you for always supporting me. If you haven't checked out Nightmare Crypt, he is awesome. I found him through my love of Chucky, and I found his Chucky videos. He does a lot of horror videos, so if you're into that, go check him out. He says, my question for you is, what's your biggest phobia and why? Oh, this one's easy. Snakes. I am terrified of snakes, and actually, in the basement, I guess it was last week, I was down there doing laundry, and we live kind of by a marshy area by the water, so we do get a lot of snakes around. And I went down and got the laundry out, and then my boyfriend went down and he came back up really fast, and I was like, what? And he said, you're not gonna like this. I'm like, oh! I was like, it's a snake, isn't it? Because I know, sorry, I screamed. If someone says you're not gonna like this, like what I saw, or what's outside right now, I'm like, it's a snake, because I can't even watch nature documentary videos where there are snakes. I can't look at a picture of a snake. I am terrified of snakes. So we think somehow he got in through, this is completely off topic, but we think he somehow got in through our garage because it's connected and there's an opening to our basement. And because we did have a mouse, we have a lot of critters coming into the house. But somehow they find their way out sometimes not, which is sad. We have to take them out, which I don't like to do. But I couldn't even look at the snake. All of my clothes are in the basement because there's no room. There's not any closet space up here. So I've been just storing everything in the basement. And I refuse to go down into the basement and just re-wear the same clothes over and over and over again, which is totally gross. We're in quarantine, so it's fine. But I was like, I'm not going into the basement. I don't want to run into the snake. He's waiting for me. So anyway, long-winded answer. Snakes are my biggest phobia. Yes. I'm also extremely claustrophobic. I can't, that's another thing. In movies, when people are in tight spaces, I can't watch it at all. It immediately gives me the chills. And I don't like being confined in tight spaces. Even thinking about it now, it's freaking me out. So I'd say snakes is my number one, and I am extremely claustrophobic too. So there's that. How am I doing today? I'm doing great. I have actually a week off of work, so I'm kind of relaxing and chilling. Let's see. Okay. I never know how to say your name. Quarlick, like garlic, but with a Q. You always comment on my videos. Thank you for supporting me, Quarlick. Correct me if I'm wrong. Says, thanks for updating us on your life. And the question that I have is, when did you first start getting into movies? Okay, so I first started getting into movies basically my whole life. My whole family have been big, I guess what you call them, cinephiles. My grandparents, who we spent a ton of time with, they were so into movies. My grandfather specifically loved everything about filmmaking. So whenever we go over to their house, we would make our own little home movies. So we'd write a script. This is what we did for fun as kids. Me and my little brother. We would write out a script, or if we didn't have a script, we would tell my grandmother, hey, this is what we want to have happen. Can you type it out and write the script for us? So we do it in steps, and then my grandfather would be one of the actors, and then me and my brother would act too, and my grandmother would be the camera person and script supervisor and cinematographer and editor. So we would put together all these home movies, which I still have, and I went back and watched them, and they are like really cute. Like they are really good. Like obviously they're not quality things at all, but for little kids we had very big imaginations, and I think it's because that's all we did when we were little. And when we loved to do things, we played by ourselves. We were very like introverted. I'm very introverted, but the number one thing I love to do, and I know like it's so frowned upon now, but I kind of am like, you know what, it's fine. I was always put in front of a TV when I was little, but it was because I really wanted to watch things, and it was always like a whole thing. So my real job, I'm a teacher, so socially, emotionally, I was getting a lot, and physically, because my mom said I would stand in front of the TV and reenact like what was going on. So I wasn't just sitting there and like watching like aimlessly. I was like getting up and moving around, and I'm like watching the movie, but I'm also pretending like I'm in it. So my whole life, I've just been into movies. This is a very long question. I'm only doing 3 questions, so I guess I can take a little bit longer, but and from when I was in maybe like 3 years old, all the way through my life, I did theater and acting. So it's always been a part of who I am, and the movies are a big part of who I was. And oddly enough, my granny and my pop, who are now passed away, but they're my great grandparents, so my mom's grandparents. I used to go over their house a lot too. And for some reason, they both loved scary things. And I think that's where I got my love of scary things, because my pop used to watch Are You Afraid of the Dark with me? My granny's favorite movie was Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. And like she loved they loved creepy things like that. And I think, but it was weird because when you looked at them, you wouldn't think they'd be into that kind of stuff, but they would just be like open to me watching whatever. And so I think everyone around me in my family were big movie buffs, so that in turn made me really into movies. And the last question, I think I got on Instagram, I remember, it was, what is my favorite movie? And this is very hard. I think my next video I'm going to record right after this is going to be my top favorite movies. It changes, the top 5 changes all the time, but my favorite movie is Jaws. I said this like time and time again. Jaws is just a movie that it was shown to me when I was 3, and I have just always loved. Like it's always been like an old friend, which is weird because you wouldn't think a child would like love this like killer shark eating everyone. But my dad watched it with me when I was little, and it kind of was like our family movie. Like if we like sat down as a family, we'd always pick Jaws. So I just love those movies, and I even liked the second one. The third one was fine. The other one was really bad. But we'd watch like 1 and 2 all the time, Jaws 1 and 2. And they were like our favorite movies. So those are some of the answers to your questions. I hope you enjoyed this. I am going to be doing a my favorite movie list next, so look out for that. I'm sorry the lighting was so awkward in here. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.